Hello, my name is Olivia and this is the 30-second thing they should have taught you in school. Many of the things we believe about the past are probably wrong or at least heavily distorted. If you're like me, you're fascinated by history and ancient civilizations, how people actually lived, what they ate, how they healed themselves, what rituals they performed, and what went on in their minds. I'm drawn to this stuff for a deeper reason. Maybe I'm secretly hoping to find some answers for why I'm always so exhausted. There's something about the hunter-gatherer way of life that I deeply admire, even if I know I could never truly live it while picking fruit from a genetically modified cherry tree in my backyard. There are quite a few common misconceptions worth correcting. For starters, prehistoric people didn't live in caves as much as we think. In fact, in regions without caves, archaeologists have found far more evidence of settlements than in cave-rich areas. When people did use caves, it was usually temporary, either as shelters during the harsh ice age or as hunting camps in mountainous terrain. Many caves were also ritual spaces, which explains the magical paintings and altars with animal skulls. Most of the time, people lived in simple huts, tents, or behind natural windbreaks. Let me tell you my favorite two archaeological sites that completely fired up my imagination when I visited them: Göbekli Tepe and Çatalhöyük. You can find them in Turkey. Göbekli Tepe is over 11,000 years old and Çatalhöyük is more than 9,000 years old. Imagine waking up at dawn in a temporary camp near the sacred hill. The air is crisp, carrying the scent of wild herbs and distant smoke from last night fires. You're not in a village, there are no mud brick houses or streets here. Instead, you rise from animal skin shelters or simple huts scattered around the great stone enclosures. You climb the slope of the man-made mound as the first light touches the massive T-shaped pillars, rising from the circular temples. These stone giants, some over 5 meters tall and weighing several tons, dominate the landscape. Carved into them are powerful creatures: snarling lions, charging bulls, scorpions, foxes, cranes, as if the wild forces of nature have been summoned into stone. This is no ordinary settlement. Göbekli Tepe is a place of gathering, ritual, and awe. People travel for days from the surrounding hills and plains to meet here. You join hundreds of others, hunters, craftspeople, storytellers, all drawn by something greater than daily survival. Inside one of the greatest enclosures, the world feels different. The towering pillars surround you like silent ancestors or gods. Some are decorated with belts and arms, almost human-like. In the center stand two even larger pillars, watching over everything. The floor beneath your feet may hide the bones of feasts, aurochs, gazelle, and wild boar consumed in great communal meals. During the day, the air fills with the sound of stone tools shaping new pillars, the crackle of fires, and the rhythmic chanting of drumming that seem to vibrate through the entire hill. At night, when the fires are lit inside the temples, the carved animals seem to come alive in the flickering light. Looking up through the open or partially roofed structure, you see the vast sky. The same stars your ancestors have followed for generations. Göbekli Tepe proved the opposite. Hunter-gatherers came together and built these monumental structures before agriculture even existed. They were capable of large-scale social organization driven by shared culture and not by farming. Now imagine waking up on the roof of your mud brick house. The roofs are the streets. Your neighbors literally walk above your head. That is why Çatalhöyük feels completely different. You'd climb down a wooden ladder into the smoky room where you cooked on a clay oven. Wheat fields lay just outside, and beneath the floor you slept on were the buried remains of your ancestors. Home and family had become the center of the universe. The only light came from a hole in the roof, which also served as the entrance. At night, you can lie on a sleeping platform and stare up at the stars through that same opening. One of the most famous murals there is believed by many to be the oldest known map. It shows the layout of the town with an erupting volcano in the background. Göbekli Tepe feels like the final magnificent roar of the wild hunter-gatherer world, a place where they worship the dangerous, sacred forces of nature in monumental stone temples. Çatalhöyük, appearing roughly 2,000 years later, shows the turning point, human retreating inside, domesticating space itself, bringing the sacred into the home and slowly closing the door on the wild outside world. So, I'll leave you with this question. Did we domesticate the plants, or did the plants domesticate us? Well, that was it. Hugs.